This video is sponsored and approved by Nintendo. What's happening, everyone? It's Abdallah here, bringing you guys an awesome exclusive look at some brand new modes in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on Nintendo Switch prior to launch. Shoutouts to our friends over at Nintendo of America for inviting me to their awesome hands-on event where I got to play this game for over 4 hours. So what we're going to be doing is giving you guys a closer look at the Classic mode, the Spirit Boards mode, and of course the very awesome World of Light. So let's jump on into it, shall we? We're going to give the Classic mode a little look at what the game is all about. Some of you guys who have played the Super Smash Bros. Game in the past, you guys know that Classic mode is really the fun epitome of awesomeness in the game. I love it so much. I love beating it with all the characters. I love challenging myself on different difficulties. So as you guys can see, there's a gigantic mural on the back, and you start off from 1.0, or you can start over to 5.0, and you're able to choose that difficulty. You guys can see over here on screen that you will be able to find out how many different battles you have to fight, and it looks like there's a treasure area right before the boss. So keep that in mind as you guys are playing along. Now, I have not played as Wolf in a long time, ever since Brawl, so I wanted to give him a shot and showcase a little bit of his gameplay because I used to love Wolf back in the day. He was really, really one of my favorite characters. So, as you guys can see over here, the more you play, the more intensity you're going to gain. By beating that specific level, we got 0.7 of intensity, and we were able to get a little bit more difficult of a CPU that we're going to beat up in the next level. And that's going to be the exact theme here. So, provided you started on 5.0 difficulty, you're going to make it to 9.0 by the end of your run on Classic. So, here we are at 4.8 difficulty, battling against Pichu. Pichu is really good in this game too, but either way, it doesn't stand a chance against this bullet bill that we found on the ground there. So, Classic mode is so much fun. So think about it, right? 74 characters in the game, and you are able to play this mode with every single one of them and potentially see all of their different endings. That's going to be really, really fun, and I can't wait for it. Each one of these runs would say, on average, would be about 8 to 10 minutes long, so keep that in mind. If you want to beat it with all 74 characters, feel free to do so. 740 minutes later, you'll be all set with all of their endings. So Ivysaur is over here. What's really interesting about this is that we somehow got a home run bat. And the home run bat has a little bit of super armor on it, which was interesting. I don't know if that was a thing in the previous Smash Bros. Games. Don't really play with items all that much, but the fact that Ivysaur hit me during my home run charge up attack was pretty interesting to me. So I was really glad that that happened. So here we go, this is a battle of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Characters that didn't quite make it into Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. So yeah, that was super fun. So now here we go. This one's interesting, and this is going to be an exclusive look of the bonus game. You can see that there's a gigantic black hole that's forming to the left of the screen, and this is really kind of a throwback to one of those bonus levels in Super Smash Bros. 64, if you guys remember. One of the last ones, you have to like run through this hallway, and there's all sorts of characters that are stopping you from going there. So this one's interesting. You guys can see over here that Wolf does have the ability to wall jump, and as soon as you're close to the wall, I felt like some sort of directional influence would make him wall jump there. So that was a little too sensitive for my liking, hence me wall jumping into the electric over there. So you guys can also see that these green blocks are able to get broken down so that you have access to even more of these little orbs, these little suns. But yeah, it's really all about backtracking a little bit in that spot, breaking all those blocks, and then hopefully you can get more than the 100,000 over here. I can imagine all of you guys at home are going to strive to get every single one of those little suns. So, right over here, we have the final round. This is going to be an actual boss battle. No, it's not just a big blown up character with like a super mushroom. No, this is a straight up boss with a boss health bar that has gigantic boss moves and grabs that are going to be really, really tough. We're playing this guy not at max difficulty since we didn't start out at 5.0, but you guys can see over here that he will grab you, you can wiggle out of it, and he's going to transform into different variations. So Gallium is going to be, yeah, totally beating us up. He's really no match for Wolf and, of course, all of Wolf's moves. So he changes forms over here, he throws cannons, you can easily jump to the opposite side of him. If you have projectiles, you can absolutely use those. So definitely find out what moves come out really, really quick and are strong, and then feel free to keep on using those moves as fast as you can in order to beat this guy. those of you guys who are veterans to Super Smash Bros., you guys remember Master Hand and Crazy Hand and all that stuff. It's pretty much the same concept. So you go through, you battle a boss, and then once you beat the boss, you're going to see exactly how much score you have. The game will keep tally of your score, and of course, it's up to you to keep on going and trying to beat your high score. Next up, we have the Spirit Board. Now, this is a very interesting mode, and there is a lot of cooldown for it. As you can see, every single one of these cards has a little bit of a cooldown meter. They have a difficulty meter, and they have some sort of theme around them. I clicked on the Reshiram card over here, and of course, it's obvious that Reshiram is not a playable character in the game, so what the developers did is they made a gray-looking Charizard in order to synthesize a Reshiram in-game, which was really, really clever, and I love all these themes. So, if you guys ever remember in Super Smash Bros. Melee, the event mode, you know, there was like 50, 51 challenges, and you were able to do these really gimmicky set-up themes in order to beat them. So that's kind of what this is over here. But you get to pick and choose what character you want to battle. So, once you're done battling the boss or the playable character over here, you have this this one little mini game in order to get the actual spirit. You have to shoot the character with this said gun, and if you miss twice, you lose out on it, and you're going to have to wait another 5-minute cooldown. As you guys can see over the screen, those were different ones that we tried earlier. So you beat a level if you get the character via shooting them with that special gun. You'll have that spirit on board that you can use within the main game. And of course, you can use it in these modes as well, equipping a primary, and of course, if that primary has access to some secondaries, you can absolutely do that. Right over here, this is a Staryu spirit card, so it's very star themed. You got the Star Rod, you got Rosalina and Luma, and every time there's a Pokeball that gets spawned out, a Staryu will come out of it, which is really, really awesome. So that one was an easier battle. And of course, now we're going to have this opportunity to do this. So you can do it with perfect timing if you're good at it, or if you have some power-ups that you picked up from battling previous ones, you can get the Shield Spacer or the Sluggish Shield in order to ensure that you absolutely get that spirit. Because if you don't get that spirit, it's going to be gone for a good 5 minutes, and you don't know if it's necessarily going to come back in that exact same spot. So, word of the wise, work on your timing, start farming all those items that slow things down, and you guys can be absolutely set. So this one was an interesting one. It's X-Parasite. And what other X-Parasite would there be other than a bunch of yellow Kirby that are all on the same team attacking you? I would say their launch rate is relatively high, so they're going to get launched with very, very strong attacks very easily. So it's just a matter of making sure that they don't destroy you. And they're just pretty much passing you around. They're inhaling, they're exhaling, and they're doing a lot of good work. I've never really played as Incineroar, so I figured, you know, let's give him a shot. He was one of the characters that I was really, really pumped up about his reveal trailer, especially because the Fire-type Pokemon is just so exciting. So, right over here, you guys can see that I'm doing some work against these guys. It's relatively fun. Like, I like his moveset. I feel that his forward B is kind of like Ganondorf, where Ganondorf grabs you. But this one, there's a little bit more. You guys can see, depending on where you press the B button after they bounce off the ropes, you can either do the actual Lariat, which will do so much more damage, or if you're timing slightly off, you're going to launch him up into the air. So I like that a lot. We do have our Smash meter that's happening over here. We're going to use our Z move, which is very strong, and it just looks awesome. So we're going to pound on this, and it may look like you're only attacking one Kirby, but as soon as he launches it, he's going to have a little area of effect. So whoever's nearby that is going to explode from that as well. So very awesome. So we got a good, what, 20, 25, 30% of the shield off. I use the Spacer again in order to get this. So yeah, it's guaranteed. Done. Got it. Spacer eliminates even more of that barrier, and now I'm able to get the X-Parasite thing. So you'll see over here that there's so many different kinds of spirits on board, so you can go ahead and do that. Next up is going to be Kyurem. Kyurem is pretty interesting. I like Kyurem simply because this one is very themed, with Kyurem being the Ice-type Pokemon. And of course, Kyurem being an actual Pokemon that you can summon in the game through a Pokeball. I think it's great, and what other character would you battle as other than the Ice Climbers? It's so themed. I love it. So I got to play as Isabelle for a little bit here. I felt that Isabelle plays a lot like Villager. but it has some very unique attributes, such as her fishing rod, able to grab people from like half the screen away. So anyway, what we did over here was I used Sluggish Shield, which is pretty much the same thing as Shield Spacer. It just makes the rotation of that circle go a lot slower, so you have an easier time getting that. Now, with your collection of spirits, you're able to take all of these snacks and everything that you earn from each of these levels, and you can level them up. Case in point, Tethu the Seedling right over here, this guy from EverOasis, what we're doing right now is we're showing you guys exactly that you can use snacks to level up each of these spirits, and if the spirit is even stronger, it's going to give a better effect and even more power to you and your entire team. So, yeah, as you guys can see, it doesn't take much to get them to level 99, which is maxed. And if you guys collect a lot of those large red snacks, you guys are going to be all set and good to go. All right, so the moment you guys have been waiting for, I know, trust me, I am all on board and super excited for World of Light. This is so great. We got a little bit more insight as to who the boss is. Someone named Galeem forces everyone into all these puppets. It's really insane. So there's an army of puppet fighters, and of course, it's up to Kirby in order to save everyone. So the journey to defeat Galeem begins. Ooh, super cool. So what's going to happen right now is that we're going to start off on the very top over here, and from what I'm told, the levels are all the same. Meaning your Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is going to be the same as mine, and the very first level is going to be Smokey Prog, and you're going to have to beat it accordingly. So that's really going to be awesome for all the walkthroughs that I'm planning on doing on my YouTube channel, because we're just going to go through, we're going to do it without items, and we're going to show you guys how exactly we went and did it. Now, just like in Spirit Boards, every single one of these battles is going to be themed, meaning right over here you can see that this is the Eevee Spirit Battle, and Eevee spawns out while each of these little Yoshis have a tail, they're really small, and it's very cute. So you're going to go through one spirit by one spirit and get all of these different things in order to help you beat the game. So here's Celeste from Animal Crossing. There's some conditions, such as the Jigglypuff over here favors down specials. So you want to watch out for Jigglypuff's rest, because that's kind of what Jigglypuff is going to be doing that entire match. So it was relatively easy, beat that no problem, but this overworld is really what we want to experience. Now, when you see this little icon, you're able to jump into a fighter battle. And this blue icon on screen shows that, hey, you know, this is how you unlock Mario. What we're going to do is we're going to battle Mario, and once we do, we will awaken them, and we're going to be able to play as Mario in our entire World of Light playthrough, which is going to be super, super fun. So Mario, not really too hard of a character to beat up, especially if you know the basics of Super Smash Bros. If you guys don't know the basics of Super Smash Bros, then definitely pay attention to my channel, because I'll be showing you guys exactly how to beat these games and all these levels accordingly. So right over here, I was able to knock him out very quick. Mario now joins the battle. So at any given time, you can absolutely press the plus button, and you can change over to any character that you've unlocked. Right over here is a very fun one. This is themed for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the Guardian. So it's a stamina battle. The Rob over here only favors neutral attacks, and he's got super armor, and he can't even like be bounced upwards. So literally just like a Guardian in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and on the awesome Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild level. So that theme was just so spot on. And what's going to be really exciting about this game is the fact that if you're very in tune to all the different franchises that Nintendo has over the years, you can pick and choose what the characters are or what the intentions were for those specific battles. You can see over here that we come to a crossroads. You can pick and choose Marth, Sheik, or Villager, and then once you pick that route, it's going to open up an entire area for you. So right now, since Mario is one of my favorite characters in all of Smash Bros, we're going to beat up on Marth a little bit over here in order to unlock him. He's relatively simple. He's not going to go super crazy level 9 CPU on you, but he will be a little bit tough. Usually the easier CPUs would have let me spike them down right over that way, but you guys can see over here that we just need a couple little hits and he's done. Marth now joins the battle. You can play as Marth now. So other than that, what you're also going to have access to is skills, and skill spheres are right over here. It's a skill tree. So if you guys can take a look at it, you can earn these different points, these different currencies in order to unlock stronger smash attacks, stronger tilt attacks, faster recoveries, all sorts of different skills. So keep on battling all these different paths, keep on gaining that currency in order to make all of your characters even stronger via the skill tree. So moving down this way, we're able to see even more of a path. And if you guys paid attention, the other two paths actually locked behind us. So we're going to have to make our way around in order to get those characters, or those different paths. So you guys can see over here that this is a 0 to death combo. I was actually really happy about how this turned out. It was awesome. Just spiked the heck out of this big King Dedede. 0 to death, done. Don Bongo, come to Papa. We got this guy. So that's going to be it for our exclusive preview coverage. This game is huge. Take a look at this map over here. There's so many different pathways and winding battles and everything like that. And not only are the paths winding, but you may need a specific spirit in order to get to a specific spot. Case in point, right over here, there's a block path where you're going to need some sort of water spirit that can help you. Fortunately, I had Cap'n, and Cap'n was able to allow me to go all the way across the water and move forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I know I had a fun time recording it, and shoutouts again to our friends over at Nintendo for providing us with the opportunity to play this game before it even came out. Just having the ability to try out all the brand new characters, check out all the different stages, apply all the different movesets and strategies. It was so much fun, and I hope you guys are just as excited as I am for when this game comes out very, very shortly. So, with that being said, make sure that you guys are subscribed for even more Super Smash Bros. Content on my channel. We'll be doing viewer battles with viewers like you guys. Come by and show your moves on some 1v1s via live stream. We'll also be on board with tips and tricks tutorial videos. So I want you guys on board, hit notifications, and I'll see you guys on the next one.